Hello friends, I am Anurag Raj Joshi and today I will teach you the first chapter in your literature. First I would like to remind you that in order to get the best of my lecture, please use earphones. Alright? Now, the first chapter in your literature section in 10th class in CBSE board. In the first chapter, the first poetry is Dust of Snow. Now, today I would explain you in detail the essence of this poetry word by word. Wherever the poetic device are important, I would definitely highlight that. Now, this poem Dust of Snow, first, who wrote this poem? It was written by Robert Frost. Now, Robert Frost is a well-known name. In the years before, you must have read The Road Not Taken. It's a very famous poem by Robert Frost. Now, today we will study one beautiful poem. As you have noticed, in The Roads Not Taken, Robert Frost is fascinated by nature. Now in this poem also, Robert Frost is fascinated by nature and the elements of nature. Now what Robert Frost is trying to say in this poem is suitable in the present circumstances. Now I would ask you, what are present circumstances? Are you not living in a very special kind of world? The world before Corona and the world after Corona. When we look at our world, what we find? We find a whole lot of depression, stress, anxiety going on in the entire world. Everybody is sad. We are as if we are walking on the road. We cannot open our country, we cannot open our world, and we cannot sustain without opening. And it becomes very difficult for everybody to find a passage. One of the way is what we are doing, the online classes. But I would try to explain this situation in terms of this poem, The Dust of Snow. Now, what is this dust of snow? Imagine you are living, and you need not to imagine because you are really living in this world right now, where you are in a house, but it seems as if somebody imprisoned you. You cannot go to the schools, you cannot go to meet your friends, you cannot go to your relatives, you cannot eat what you always wanted to eat. Suddenly, a grinding halt stops your daily life, and you feel sad about it, very sad. You don't know when this thing would open. Imagine suddenly a day would come when a prime minister would come and say, now everything is open, Corona is finished. That would be the happiest day. But till that, we are in that state of sorrow. The sorrow because our own species, our own brothers and sisters, they are losing their lives in the entire world. Is there something that could bring out from this depression a stress? According to Robert Frost, yes. Now, what is that state? All the books, they are available online. If you haven't purchased yet the books of 10th class, you can go on Google, when you type NCERT or CBSE 10th class books, you will find the PDF of it. So please download. I'm starting with poetry because poetries are very important. Very important to start with. The prose is something like you say, अन्याय होता है English के साथ. It's injustice. So we start with the poem. Now, should I call this a small, 2 verse a poem? You know, in Japanese language, there is one word which is known as haiku. So it is not as short. I would call it haiku. I would call it a short poem. Now, there is an argument. Should it be poem or should it be poem? I would prefer to call it both. When you pronounce it as poem, it is right because you are not taking into account the phonetic symbol trema, that is on the E, that makes to sound the 2 vowels differently, O-M. But when you remove it, as in English we do, you can call it poem. Now, Dust of Snow. First we understand the title of the poem, dust. Now, dust are the minute particle, very small. Like कहते हैं ना कि जब बहुत तेज गर्मी होती है, आंधी आती है तो धूल उठती है, तो वो जो धूल होती है, that is dust. And when it is very small of ice, then it's a snow. The snow, very small snow. So you might have noticed whenever you visited the Himalayas, the snowfall. When the snow is falling, it seems as if the small pieces of cotton wool is falling, floating, as if they are weightless. But it gives a very beautiful scene, the scenic beauty, true. Now, the way a crow, the first line, the way a crow. Why crow? First thing, why crow? Why not pigeon? Why not nightingale? Why not kingfisher? Why not eagle? Only crow. In all the civilization, crow symbolizes death. Crow symbolizes something that is negative. You know, it is said that in Hindu mythology, if you are hit by a crow on the back of your head, then you are very near to your demise. I don't believe, but crow in the language, in the literature, in the mythology symbolizes negativity. Then, shook down on me. Now this phrase, shake down. Now what you shake? You can shake the leaves, you can shake a cloth. Shook down on me. Me. Now who is me? Me is the narrator. Me is the narrator. And this poem is written when you look through the eyes of the narrator. Right? You are the narrator. So you become the person on whom this action of shaking down the dust of snow is happening. Right? So that person is the narrator. Now, the way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. Hemlock tree. Now, first of all, hemlock trees, they are very common. They are in the Mediterranean region. It's a not a good tree. You know, it's poisonous. It's a giant tree with white and light yellowish flowers, and that is poisonous. So उसको बोलते ना कि वो कर्सफुल ट्री है, ये पेड़ अच्छा नहीं होता. So the people of those regions, they try to avoid to see that tree. So there are two negative elements. The first is crow, the second is hemlock tree. Now again you can ask the question, why a writer didn't choose an oak tree, a palm tree, a neem tree, a mango tree? Why hemlock tree? Now the two negative elements in the poem, the first is the crow and the second is hemlock tree, gives us the idea that the narrator is in a state of deep anxiety, is in a state of anger, is in the state of rage, is in the state of the depression. Right now, that depression that is going around the world, the depression, the corona depression. So the narrator is in the state of that depression. And what is happening when you are in depression? What are the signs of depression? A single thought continue striking your mind and not letting your mind to think in any other way. It seems as if your mind, it seems as if your body is imprisoned. You are not feeling free. That is the sign of depression. Now this man is passing through a way, he is going through a way. On the road, on the passage, there was hemlock tree. It might be morning, because on the tree in the night, because it snows a lot, so the snow, the dust of snow is on the leaves. The dust of snow, you will find that the leaves are covered by the dust of snow. Now, what the crow did? A crow, we don't know if the crow is perching. We don't know if the crow is flying and just hit the tree. No, we don't know. Or if the crow was already sitting. But the action of the crow, that the crow shook down, he moved the branch of the tree. He moved the branch of the trees, and the dust of snow on the leaves of the hemlock tree shed apart the snow, and the snow falls on me. Now, the question is, what happened if snow falls on me? Here you will find the healing element of the nature. We all know that of course we are in depression, but look around our world, other than human species, the animals, they are really enjoying. Nature is giving them the chance to come into the city. So this dust of snow is the element of nature. And remember, this dust of snow is the element of nature given by two negative elements. The first is crow, the second is hemlock tree. So these two negative elements generate something called dust of snow, and that falls on me. And what happens? Suddenly, I came out of my depression. Suddenly, my mind switches off from my old experience that is haunting me. Might be any experience, a fight, a death, old age, broken relationship, anything that let not you to come out of your mind, that is causing depression. Right now it is corona. And suddenly what happened, when I passed through the hemlock tree, a crow shed the dust of snow by shaking the leaves. And I came out of my mind and I looked around the nature, and I found that nature is beautiful. It's so beautiful. It has taken away everything. It is giving us everything. It is taking us to that pleasure where our old thoughts inhibiting us to feel that way. Now, the writer explains it in the next line, has given my heart. What is given to the writer's heart? What is given to the narrator's heart? A change of mood. A change of mood. As I said, he was in a very desperate situation. Frustrating, tension, not happy. A change of mood from bad mood to good mood, not the vice versa. And saved some part of a day I had rued. Remember, here it is past perfect. I had rued some part of the day. This is conditional. Now, you imagine it with a situation where, say for example, there is an argument in the morning on the lunch box with your mom, and the argument, you started saying, hey, you don't take care of me, and you're not preparing the lunch of my choice, and you're always favoring my sister, or so whatever the reason, and you are carrying all these thoughts into your mind. Now you're going to the school, in the bus that thought was there, in the first period that thought was there, in the second period, in the second period, in the third period, in the interval, you carry that thought. Why? Now what you missed? You missed the ride of the bus. You missed the hello of your friend. You missed the smile of the teacher. You missed the wonderful part of learning. Right? Now, what happened if when you, in that state, going out of the house, and suddenly you meet your friend and you become very cheerful? That meeting of the friend has taken you away from the continuous flow of the frustrating thoughts. Right? So this is the same thing happened with the narrator, and saved some part of the day, some part of the day of the narrator, of a day I had rued. You can say, I would have rued, had this dust of snow not fallen on me, then I might have continued with my same thought. Say for example, if my thoughts were suicidal, then I might have gone to commit suicide. So this dust of snow and the falling of the dust of snow saved a part of my day that I would have rued. Right? This is the greatest disaster of the mankind, that we continue living in a state of anxiety. We have yet not evolved to come out of the anxiety. If you are in this kind of anxiety, go and see the sky. You notice wonderful things. Today I noticed a different shade in the sky. I was not in Corona dilemma. In fact, I was in the nature. I saw the eagles, they are now floating into the sky very low. I've seen for so many years the eagles far up into the sky. Now they are floating. Why? Human fear. The nature is healing. So I request you all to understand that nature is always giving us the opportunity to come out of a depressed thought, and here Robert Frost is giving the healing part of the nature. And remember, Robert Frost is not giving you the positive part of the life by saying an oak tree or by writing a peacock or some beautiful bird or nightingale. He's saying no. The positive part, the good mood, would or can come from the negative things. Right? Even in the negativity, there is something which is good. It is happening. You must have watched that the rivers, they become clean automatically. It is happening around you. The sky becomes clean. You are not supposed to do any activity to reduce pollution. Understand? So the positive things are happening. Please see those positive things. So once again, I will revise this poem. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. In the next class, I will discuss the question and answers. First, we will discuss the question and answers that are given in the NCERT books. Later on, we can take more question and answers. Thank you.